Alright, so I just saw Barbie, and it's not what everyone is saying that it is. So I kind of went into this movie already expecting what was kind of gonna happen. But that being said, I still tried to go in with an open mind and enjoy it the best I could. I thought the opening that was paying tribute to 2001: A Space Odyssey was actually kind of funny. However, now seeing the movie, I wish that such a masterpiece, an historical piece of cinema, was never referenced in this burning pile of dog shit that critics are calling a movie. All right, before we get into this, let's start with the positives. There's not many. I thought Ken was funny at times.
So cool.
He had a couple of lines that made me laugh, and I love the scene when he's running around the real world and he sees a bunch of pictures of Rocky Balboa. That was pretty cool. The Ken song is actually really catchy.
I'm just Ken, anywhere else I'd be a 10.
I have not been able to get that out of my head. Like, it's stuck, like it's starting to drive me fucking crazy. Other than that, yeah, let's move on. Okay, I'm gonna start at a pretty basic level, but before we tackle all the political aspects and all that crap, let's just start with talking about Barbie as a movie. And it still sucks. I mean, there's no way around it. This movie is just a bad movie all the way around. First off, the story makes absolutely no sense. In the very beginning, they kind of make jokes at the fact that they're Barbies, so all the appliances in the house, the water doesn't run, the food isn't real, all that stuff. Then some stuff is real, like the speakers and stuff are able to play music. And like shine lights and fireworks, and the cars drive. It's just really inconsistent, and you can tell they were just trying to throw in a few gag jokes and didn't really think too deeply. That being said, Barbie Land is just stupid too as an idea. So Mattel basically, after creating Barbie, created sentient life Barbies. I mean, and this stuff is never explained throughout the entirety of the movie. But there's this place called Barbie Land where physical human Barbies walk around and live, I guess? And it's not even hard to get to this place. Like, it's not like it's some magical, hidden away place. You just jump into a couple cutscenes, throw on some rollerblades, and then you're there. I mean, there's like, why no one else has found this place doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I can already imagine the comments saying, it's not that deep, bro. Why are you looking into it so much? Okay, before we get really into this video, we need to establish something. Is this movie a deep movie about women and how they're portrayed in society? Or is this a shallow kids movie about dolls? Because it can't be both. People try to say that it is whenever it's convenient to them. So I'm gonna take the route that this is supposed to be a very deep and serious and monumental piece of filmmaking, because that's what all these bullshit reviews are saying. So we're gonna look at it from that aspect, and I'm gonna rate it in that aspect. But yeah, I don't know how Mattel just creates a fucking island of sentient life Barbies. I mean, this movie is starting to have more plot holes than us. Like, really, how has nobody ever seen or interacted with these people? I know they said a couple escaped a little while ago, but that's, again, never really touched on. And another plot hole is in the movie with Will Ferrell's character. As soon as they figure out Barbie and Ken left Barbie world, they say that, this is very bad, this is very dangerous.
This would be catastrophic!
Something happened a long time ago with this, and then it's never brought up again. We have no idea what the problem is. I mean, the writing in this movie is just insanely lazy. The story, we're not even talking about all the political crap. I mean, this story makes absolutely no sense, and it's never brought up again. Will Ferrell is supposed to be the bad guy or one of the bad guys, but we don't really know why he's hunting after Barbie other than something bad is going to happen.
Catastrophic!
And what that is never touched on ever again. Hey guys, it's Editing Avery. One thing I did forget to mention, there's another plot hole I forgot to mention. In the movie, Barbie starts losing all of her Barbie features, like her feet, her elevated feet go flat. She starts getting like skin, imperfections, everything. She starts basically becoming like a normal human. And this is explained because the mom, Gloria, was playing with her and feeling sad. so Barbie became all of these sad things. But this makes no fucking sense at all because there are tons of people that are playing with Barbies that probably feel sad. So why this isn't happening to every other Barbie or any Barbie makes no sense. And I know probably some of you are probably gonna say, oh, it's because she drew the pictures. Anybody can draw pictures of a fucking Barbie. I mean, this would have been a way better movie if they just stayed in Barbie land and didn't touch anything with the outside world. But if they did that, then they wouldn't be able to lecture you with all this bullcrap, which leads me to my next point. Sasha is a fucking bitch. This girl is just pissed off at everything, and if this movie was a good film, it would actually allow the audience to see into her life and why she feels the way that she does. But it doesn't. Instead, when Sasha goes on these very large rants and complains about everything, we're just supposed to agree with it and believe it because that's just how this movie is. Now, this points out a very common trend in this movie that I feel like many people are overlooking, and that's the fact that most of the time, the people treating women the worst are other women. Like Ken, who is literally supposed to be like the bad guy, like one of the antagonists of the film, treats Barbie like a fucking god for the entire first half of the movie. And he only reverts into this misogynistic and, you know, stupid evil trait later because of everything that he's been through before. And I know, I can already tell, I can predict all these fucking comments. People are probably saying, well, that's the point of the movie. It's supposed to make you walk in their shoes. This is what women feel like after being pressed and misrepresented all the time. They turn to this toxic femininity. And I get that the movie is trying to say that, but it doesn't justify it. Like, I don't agree with Ken and all that shit. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's an okay thing to do just because Barbie was a dick to him. But they're trying to use this as an excuse that, oh yes, because people were bad and misrepresented us, we can do whatever the fuck we want. I think it's a dumb message. But no, even with Ken's backstory and being treated poorly, we're not even allowed to sympathize with him. We're supposed to sympathize with people like Sasha, who has no backstory. We have no idea why she's upset. There are no scenes showing her being treated poorly at all. She is just being a bitch to literally everybody. I mean, she's on screen for not even 2 seconds and already flaming Barbie, calling her fascist and all these fucking things. And which one are we supposed to side with? Also, apparently Barbie is evil and hurts women. Sasha even states that Barbie sent the feminist movement back 50 years. And I know that Sasha wasn't alive back then. I wasn't either, but you might want to read up on some history if you really think that the feminist movement is 50 years in the past, because I don't even know how to respond to that. But yeah, Barbie's bad for women. It gets so fucking confusing. This movie gets so fucking confusing. Are we supposed to like Barbie or hate Barbie? People will try to say it's a mixture of both. We're trying to see the benefits, and the negatives. Pick one. It bounces back and forth constantly. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be even thinking. Barbie is terrible for women apparently when Sasha comes on. And guess what? Barbie was created by a woman. So I guess this movie is saying all the oppression for women was caused by, you guessed it, a woman. Now I'm kind of just poking fun here, kind of, but still, like, this movie is just so confusing. And again, I can predict that all the other comments coming in now, you don't get it. You just don't get it. He doesn't get it. I don't get that. It makes no fucking sense. You don't get. I don't think anybody gets this movie. I legitimately don't believe you're lying to yourself if you think you can understand this fucking movie. It makes no sense. But apparently Barbie's bad because she set standards too high. And what I'm about to say should not be taken as an insult, but why do women have such a problem when people want to hold them to standards like this? And we're not talking just men saying that women have to fit in this little box, but people holding standards in general. Like, for an example, we have a lot of standards that men are held to. I mean, you have the stereotypical ones you see all the time, like had to be 6 feet tall, had to make a lot of money. I don't let it affect me. But also men that are very strong, men that provide. Those are all things that are valued upon men. You are a valuable man if you can do those things. But when I see a man who is very strong and very accomplished, that doesn't make me feel less than what I am. It motivates me to be better and to be more like them. I don't understand. What's up? You actually came in the perfect time. Well, that was David Goggins.
Barbie movie sucks.
That was David Goggins. Be like David Goggins. He's a perfect fucking example of what I'm talking about here. David Goggins is a fucking king. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know why whenever women see a successful woman, they take it as like society and people are putting them down just because women can be successful. Another example, Sylvester Stallone. I got posters of him all over my fucking room. He's my fucking background on my phone. You know, this is someone that I look up to. This is someone that I am trying to be like and improve myself on that level. As you can see, I'm not a very muscular person. I'm not a huge buff guy, but I'm actually right now working my way to get up there. I'm working very hard at it. But whenever there's a woman that is very beautiful and very accomplished and can do a lot of things, literally Barbie, people take that as damaging and bad for like I don't understand, where does that come from? Like, that's such a fucked up mindset. And I get a lot of people, especially females, tend to have a lot of body issues and anxiety towards that stuff, and so sometimes that can be triggers. And I don't personally understand that, but I can understand it in a sense that it can be a touchy or hard topic. I mean, I've known a lot of people who've struggled with that in their lives, but I don't think that's a reason to want to hate or put another person down. Even if you struggle with that and you don't want to surround yourself with that, I get that, but why are you gonna stop other people from looking amazing and other women from looking beautiful and being successful just because that's a touchy subject that makes you feel uncomfortable? Like, why do you have to infringe on other people and how they live their lives? Because I know a lot of very successful and strong women, and there are a lot of very strong women, you know, in the public eye today, you know, in entertainment, in our government, and a truly successful person isn't gonna create excuses or try to bring other people down to raise themselves up. Moving on to my next point, this movie hates men. Every single male character in this movie is either an idiot, an asshole, or both. Catastrophic! For a group of people who hate when their gender is misrepresented, they have no problem doing that to the opposite sex whatsoever. I know you guys are probably repeating yourselves. Avery, that's the point of the movie. The point is to make you walk in their shoes. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but that's just bullshit in today's world. Women are not allowed to be misrepresented in film at all. If your film misrepresents a woman in today's world, it will be shredded to death by critics, fans, everybody will destroy that movie and the careers of the people involved in it. Everyone. We have zero tolerance for that as a society. So much so, people will dig up movies from 10, 20, 30, or 40, or 50 years ago and do the same thing to those movies now, all that time later. But now, if they do it, it's completely okay. In fact, it's celebrated. To top it all off, we get a lovely, lovely rant from Gloria, who is, I already forgot her name, who is Sasha's mother. You can definitely tell that she's her mom in this scene. She goes on this extremely long rant, which I will play for you now.
It is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. You have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy.
What the hell does that even mean? First of all, if you're talking about people who are, I guess, uncomfortable about their body or have body issues, that's usually other women. No man is gonna say, you have to be healthy, not thin. Why would we give a fuck about what? Like, that's clearly referencing women who have body issues and don't want to talk about being thin but healthy. So you have to use that word to not trigger them. I don't, what does that have to do with men? I have absolutely no idea.
You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass.
I mean, to an extent, it depends who you're asking for money. I feel like if you're married or in a relationship and there's that level of respect, you know, you will share money and provide for each other. But this is basically saying that having money and asking money are the same thing, which it's absolutely not. Earning your money and creating a career is completely different than asking for money all the time. I mean, that is a completely different thing. Are we supposed to, is this movie trying to say that is the same thing? Well, I don't know why they're comparing that.
You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas.
Like, what?
You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time.
Again, who do moms usually talk to their kids about? Usually other moms. I mean, this is like not really a woman or a male thing. This is like a woman issue. Like, I've never seen a guy say to a woman, you're talking about your kids too much. Like, what? Who the fuck says that? As if raising children is strictly exclusive to women.
You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people.
Like, what does that even mean? These lines are so vague. They literally mean nothing. Like, looking out for other people? Is this supposed to be like caring for other people? Like being a good, like, person? Like, what are you saying?
You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful.
Again, it mentions threatening other women. Women, women, women. This is all women versus women. And for the whole, you need to be pretty but not so pretty that you tempt men, no one is saying that if a man sexually assaults you, it is your fault as a woman for the way you dress. Hold your comments. Let me explain. When people say you shouldn't dress a certain way, it's because they're trying to prevent you from getting into a risky situation. They're not holding you responsible. For example, if a woman is wearing a provocative outfit and somebody assaults her, the only person to blame is the person who assaulted her. But you can still not wear an outfit to avoid that situation. Now, a lot of political commentators and other people on YouTube use this scenario. Basically, if I have $100 bill or hundreds of dollars and I walk around in a really bad area waving that money around, that is an example of a bad idea and putting myself in a bad situation. If I get robbed, the person to blame is only the person who robbed me. It's not my fault, but I still made a bad decision that I could have avoided. And so when people say, don't go out to that club wearing all that provocative stuff, they're not saying, you know, you need to change yourself, otherwise it's your fault if you get raped or assaulted. That's not what they're saying. What they're saying is be smart, try to avoid the situation. And people will try to spin that and make it seem like that's a woman exclusive thing when it's not. People have to compromise and make decisions to keep themselves safe literally every single day. That applies to men, women. I mean, I live in Philadelphia. I have to do that shit every single day. It's not always what I wear, but I still have to make decisions to not put myself in risky scenarios. Yeah, this whole monologue is just completely stupid, out of context. It makes no sense. You know, but then again, if we do the opposite of this and praise women and have them be in all these successful positions, that's bad. That's damaging for women. Why? Because you're setting the standards too high. Which, can I just say, is an extremely sexist thing to say. Having a woman in a successful position is too high of a standard. Like, what is that saying to women? You being a leader? That's unrealistic. That's an unrealistic expectation that you can be successful. Like, what the fuck is that saying? That's a terrible message. And I'm not saying all this to shit on women, because that will just be what Barbie is doing to men, which I have a problem with. Because this movie really damages both men and women. Because this movie claims that in reality, women are forced to serve men and get them beers and stuff. They also have Margot Robbie get catcalled every fucking second. Like, I'm literally not even exaggerating. The minute Barbie and Ken enter reality, she is catcalled by literally every single fucking person. Somebody is calling her a name, slapping her ass, she gets arrested, the cops let her go because she's fucking hot.
Yeah. If it's a small body, oh, you got fries in that? I said you had a hot body when you want to get it. You don't have a mirror in your pocket. Maybe you are.
I can see myself in your shorts.
Need a leotard. I love the elbow pads.
I think we should get some different clothes.
It's even better and more clothes.
Because you can imagine more.
You know what? People.
Like, this is just unrealistic. This does not happen. I understand catcalling is an issue that women face. It is not like this at all. This is insanely exaggerated. Like, it's actually funny how insane this movie is sometimes. They also point out that in the real world, women have no power, and they do this by visually representing Mattel being run entirely by men, which is not true. The last female CEO was in 2017, and she only stepped down because she wanted to pursue other interests, which, you know, shouldn't women be allowed to pursue the career that they want? Right? Isn't that a message that we try to send to other women? Even now, the board of executives at Mattel has 6 males and 5 females. So how that is completely dominated by males, I have absolutely no fucking clue. But men run everything, apparently. They own absolutely everything. And even if a male's running a company whose sole purpose is to create, you know, an image for a woman to look up to and empower them, why is that a bad thing? Why is it so bad for men and women to be allied in a cause to help each other? I mean, this movie really, really wants you to believe by the time you leave the theater that women and success just do not match. Women cannot be successful. They really want you to believe that, which is a very harmful and false message you're sending to young women all across the fucking world. I mean, women are graduating high school at higher rates and with better grades than men are. More women are going to pursue an education after high school, going to college and grad schools. They're rising into all types of powerful positions in entertainment and government. But no, women can't be successful because of the patriarchy. Like, what was Greta Gerwig smoking when she was coming up with this? This movie is just, it's fucking bonkers. It's so stupid. This movie is just jam-packed with hate. It's such a gotcha back movie for the feminists. I mean, literally every single group in society is finding something to go to war with right now, and it's really, really bad. Movies like this only fuel a fire that is quickly pulling the world apart. Hate is bad, period. Doesn't matter who does it. Just because women have been historically misrepresented doesn't give them the right to destroy and hate men. It just doesn't. Because what happens is you hurt a lot of innocent and kind people in the crossfire when you do that. I love women. I have tons of respect for women. I did before this movie came out. That was a joke, by the way. But I don't have respect for petty attempts at revenge. Instead of fighting together for equality like men and women should, we constantly decide to put ourselves at odds and we just fight. Men versus women, black versus white. Whenever we have a difference, our first instinct seems to be to hate it and then to fight it and destroy it, which really sucks because I thought that was something we were trying to leave behind and leave in the past. But if there's anything that I learned watching this movie, we got a long ways to go. Instead, we're just stuck in this endless game of chess, not getting anywhere at all. But we constantly act like the only way to uplift a group of people is to tear another down. And it really makes me upset when we do that. And it's movies like this that enforce that idea to the absolute extreme. This movie is not good on any level. And with that, I give this movie a final rating of 0.5 out of 10. See you guys in the next one.
I'm just kidding. Anywhere else I'd be.